Alrighty, let me get the script. Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and welcome to this year's Spring Atlanta race. Before the race started, we got to see one of the members of ZZ Top or ZZ Top, just in case you want to be more, well, metric sounding, to make the call to start the engines. As the green flag drops, we see the Cinderblock himself, that's Austin Cindric by the way, jump in the lead. Heck, he even leads for the first three laps, which is a rarity considering that he only won 2 races in his whole career. Joey tries to sneak past him, but the Cinderblock remains persistent. Then out of nowhere, Todd Gilliland gets past him. Also, he's rocking the Aaron sponsorship. Another major sponsorship is going to return this year in next week's NASCAR race. You'll see what it is. The son of Tim Cindric and the son of Dave Gilliland, that's Austin Cindric and Todd Gilliland, end up in a heated battle with both drivers trying to take the lead. The highlight is seeing the 3-way battle between Bubba Wallace, William Byron, and Kyle Larson, with Willie B falling behind so that Bubba and Kyle can duke it out. Bubba does get passed by Brad Kay. Then Josh Berry ends up leading. I guess Austin wanted to let his teammate get by. Yeah, Josh and Austin Cindric are teammates since, well, Wood Brothers uses Penske cars and equipment. Yeah, they both share equipment with each other. We see Willie B get past Brad Kay, and Bubba finally overcomes the turning radius of his car as it got tight. Todd gets into another battle with 2 Penske cars. Willie B even attempts to zoom past Todd Gilliland and succeeds, until Bubba moves through the field and briefly attempts to pass the 2 Penske cars. Bubba loses the draft and Willie B gets past him again. Yeah, William Byron is bad fast on the... Oh, is still bad fast on the super speedways. Even if said super speedway is an intermediate track built like one. Josh Berry hangs on to his lead and blocks a passing attempt from William Byron himself. Josh takes the Stage 1 win with honor, as it is the first time a stage went caution-free this year. After the stage ends, we get our first set of pit stops of the day. Joey Logano wins the race off of pit road, with Josh Berry getting an impressive second for Wood Brothers Racing. Yeah, it seems like Giggles is doing everything to cheat. Yeah, Giggles Logano being a nickname that Michael Moose came up with, and it kind of stuck with me. Yeah, credit goes to Michael Moose for making that nickname. Yeah, his name is spelled like his last name is spelled like M-R-U-C-Z, by the way. The second stage begins, and Joey gets past Josh as he laughs his way to the lead. Yeah, no, he doesn't laugh his way to the lead, but you can probably tell that he is laughing while he's inside his car. Yeah, laugh it up while you can. Meanwhile, the Joe Gibbs cars are falling behind. Then caution comes, with Ty Dillon hitting the wall and sustaining damage. He also has tire issues. During the caution, Alex Bowman chose the bottom row, and Joey decides to throw the block. Todd Gilliland gets past the clown and finally takes the lead for the first time since stage 1 of the race. While we have a battle of Todd versus the Penske cars, we get another caution with Eric Jones hitting the wall and blowing a tire after attempting to avoid Chris Buescher. That's Prosper, Texas, by the way. Yeah, it's a nickname that some of my friends came up with, not Michael Moose. During the caution, Todd Gilliland chooses the bottom, and then the caution ends. Todd gets a push from Alex Bowman and takes the lead until Joey laughs his way through. Alex and Todd. No! I didn't want him to pass those two. We get another battle between the two Penske cars and Todd. Now everyone wants to get past those Penske cars. This has got to be the most exciting Atlanta race yet. Well, second most exciting to be more precise, since the most exciting will still be the last year's Atlanta race with that crazy finish. I was hopeful that Alex Bowman would get past him. Despite his best efforts, he could never do it, and not even Todd Gilliland would be able to do it. Good lord, are they putting nitrous in those cars? A debris caution comes out with Todd Gilliland pushing his car too hard and bursting a tire, just like what Lightning McQueen did in Cars 3, except without the roller. Oh, and Kyle Larson did a jump scare behind him. Yeah, he was pretty much like Jackson Storm to Todd Gilliland. We get our next set of pit stops with all of the leading cars deciding to stay out. One car has power steering issues under caution. Thankfully, Todd gets the lucky dog, that's the free pass, and gets his lap back. Although he has a long way to go. After the caution ends, we get a fierce battle between two Penske cars and two Hendrick cars. Joey missed the block before, but he still gains the lead. Chase Elliott then loses control and crashes into Brad Kay when they decide to throw a caution. Yeah, the Georgians are not happy. Corey also ends up in the wreck itself. Yeah, that's Corey LaJoie. What a surprise! I have no idea what he's even doing in NASCAR anymore. Of course, his inflated ego doesn't want him to be in the Truck Series or Xfinity Series. He wants the Bean Cup. Because of this, Chase goes into the pits for repairs. Yeah, I'm glad they changed these DVP guidelines. More drivers decide to pit in under caution. AJ stops in for some repairs while the rest get tires and or gas. The caution ends with Alex Bowman choosing the top and Giggles Logano choosing the bottom. Joey launches past again with the help of Austin Cindric. Alex Bowman decided he's had enough and finally gets past Joey. In a last-minute surprise, Kyle Larson zooms past and wins the second stage. At least it's not Carson Hocevar. Our third race off of pit road begins with Kyle Larson and Reddick being tied. It's Tyler Reddick, by the way. The third stage begins with Briscoe throwing the block on Ross Chastain until Shane Van Gisbergen pushes Ross towards the front. Briscoe falls behind and it seems that luck is not on his side, especially with him having minus points during the season. Suarez decides to throw the block on Larson and Reddick is the one that zooms past. Larson starts lifting and falling behind despite winning the second stage. Meanwhile, in the front, Kyle, Ross, and Shane battle for the lead. It's surreal seeing Shane Van Gisbergen running in front on an oval, especially on a drafting track. Daniel Suarez, who was last year's winner, ends up in the next caution of the day. Even Noah Gragson, Cole Custer, J.J. Elliott, and Ty Gibbs aren't safe. Yeah, they aren't safe from the caution. Both surviving Trackhouse drivers, along with several others, pitted under caution. Bushy wins the race off of pit road. Yeah, that's another nickname that Michael Moose came up with. And decides to only take gas. He also starts ahead of William Byron when he decides to choose the bottom lane. The caution ends and William Byron pushes Kyle Busch and passes him. Josh Berry helps Bushy get past the 24, and here we have some more excitement with Kyle, that's Kyle Busch by the way, getting a hopeful doubleheader victory for RCR. Then, similar to last year's Coke Zero Sugar race, Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona, the 21 makes his move. Then another caution comes out, and Christopher Bell makes Chris Buescher spin out. Poor Alex Bowman ends up in the wreck alongside him. Ty Gibbs also spins out with a broken toe link. Michael McDowell gets the free pass. Josh Berry hangs on to his lead, even during the caution, and decides to stay out. Kyle takes the top, and Berry takes the bottom. It's RCR versus Penske. And so the caution ends, and Kyle yeets past the 21. And they start battling for the lead. In a surprise move, Ross ends up behind Kyle Busch. Both cars also happen to share engines due to their technical partnership. And then guess what happens? Ross ends up in the lead! That's a surprise I didn't see coming, until Bushy ends up in a heated battle with him. Even with Ryan Blaney in the rearview mirror, Bushy refuses to give up the lead. It's now a battle between Ross and Ryan, and Ross makes his move and passes by Ryan Blaney. He loses the lead to Josh Berry for about 5 seconds. Another exciting battle comes underway, and this is why Atlanta is so amazing. Blaney spins out and causes a non-caution. Seriously? That's a caution? He wasn't even anywhere near the other cars. I mean, like, he could stay perfectly still and he'd only get into 40th place. Yet they decided to throw the caution even though he's not wrecking the other cars. He just spun out. Caused a little bit of damage. That could easily get him into the pits. Yeah, like, this is NASCAR logic we're talking about. They decide to throw a caution when a non-caution happens, and they decide not to throw a caution in the Daytona 500 when the caution when a wreck happens. Yeah, like, there's no way around it. I mean, this is the same people that officiate the the race that Tony Stewart won in at Watkins Glen. Luckily, he does save his car, and no car was harmed during the caution. Josh chooses the bottom, and Ross chooses the top. After the caution ends, the 21 and Ross duke it out. Larson gets past Ross, and then Carson, for once, decides to lead. The two Penske cars and Larson get past Carson Hocevar, and during all this action, one car hits the wall. And nobody knows who it is, by the way. Even the announcers didn't know. Ross falls back when Ryan and Christopher join the battle. And then Christopher gets past just when we thought the JGR cars would finish below and would be hopeless. Austin then wrecks out, that's Austin Cindric by the way, with Willie B when the two get a bit aggressive. And unfortunate for William Byron as he never got to do a double victory like Matt Kenseth. The race gets into overtime. When we get to the choose, Ross chooses the bottom and Larson chooses the top. The caution ends and we get to see the Bell versus Larson rivalry finally take place. Yep, in case you're wondering, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson are huge rivals. In fact, the rivalry between these two is even bigger than Denny and Kyle. I mean, come on, they're both dirt track racers, and Joe Gibbs Racing, even Yeah, they even abolished the no dirt racing rule just to let Chase Briscoe have a go at it. And Bell beats Larson. Yeah, he actually does beat Larson. It was another Bell victory. This is the first time Toyota has won this season. With Chase being penalized, it's a victory he deserves. The race ends under caution, but it's worth it. The race gets an 8 out of 10, with the only killer being the race ending under caution, with Josh Berry wrecking out, unfortunately. Although nothing could ever top last year's race. Let's be honest here, that race, 10 out of 10. Because Daniel Suarez did an underdog victory. And we got to see Christopher Bell beat Kyle Larson. Because we have the intense battle between Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. And this rivalry was established before, but finally we now get to see it take place. Finally, a race to wash out the sour taste of yesterday's race. Anyways, I'm going to be signing out, and I have the link to another Christopher Bell victory if you want to see it. It was before I started appreciating him for what he could do. You know the drill by now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on the latest Racer Cinema Productions videos. Although to people who have already subscribed to my channel, all you have to do is like and comment. But anyways, I'm going to be signing off. As mentioned before. Catch you guys next time. Peace out. Oh, and by the way, next week is the first race of the IndyCar Series at St. Pete!